I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down.
I'm about to give a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take.
What did you say, nigga?
Welcome to Racist of the Week, where we expose the stupidity and hypocrisy of discrimination in hopes we can build a more perfect union. And also laugh. As usual, I would like to thank today's sponsor, Racism. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the page, and definitely leave me any possible suggestions for nominees in the comments. Our first nominee, America. I just wanted to watch basketball. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to watch a college basketball game last weekend between Iowa and LSU. And on the other side, I wanted to watch UConn and USC. I enjoy basketball. I enjoy women's basketball. I enjoy the NCAA tournament. I just wanted to watch basketball. I did not want to participate in the newest edition of the proxy war between the MAGAs and whatever they're calling the other side. They call them the woke or whatever, which is nothing anybody on the other side would ever use, okay? I didn't want to participate in none of that. I just wanted to watch basketball. Now, I'll be completely honest with you. I was conflicted the first time these two teams played. When Iowa played LSU in the championship last year, I was conflicted. Why? Because Iowa had just beat South Carolina. My mother's from South Carolina. I root for the South Carolina Gamecocks. I root for both Carolinas, but I root for the South Carolina Gamecocks. And you know how grim it is to root for South Carolina? I mean, when you think of the South Carolina Mount Rushmore of sports is like Dawn Staley, Jadeveon Clowney's hit on Michigan that caused the fumble.
Wow. Michigan at the 41. What a hit! Ball's free on the ground. South Carolina deserves to have it, and they do.
George Rogers Heisman and like an inter-platoon scrimmage during the Battle of Fort Sumter. Okay, that's how bad and grim it is rooting for South Carolina. Here they are going for an undefeated season and they get tripped up by Iowa. And you know how you feel when your team gets tripped up by the other team. You just want nothing but the worst things. I want nothing but the bad things in life to happen to you and only you. I was frustrated. So I was not feeling Iowa at all. At the same token, I didn't necessarily want LSU, who is their SEC rival, to be the beneficiaries of South Carolina getting taken out. I was conflicted the first time. This time, a year later, the landscape has somewhat changed. All of a sudden, LSU is evil incarnate, and Iowa is everything that's right about basketball and about college and about the world. One of the other reasons I was conflicted about this game is even though I wanted Iowa to get their comeuppance after some notable trash talk after the South Carolina game, which we'll get to later, LSU is coached by Kim Mulkey. Yes, Kim Mulkey. The same woman who refused to vouch or send love and prayers or even acknowledge in any way Brittany Griner when she was stuck in a Russian prison. That same Brittany Griner who brought her multiple national titles, who is the best player she's ever coached. She couldn't even parse her lips to say the name Brittany Griner in public while she was stuck in a Russian prison. This is the same Kim Mulkey who defended the SA and Title IX scandal that shook Baylor and took down their football coach Art Briles. Oh, so you mean to tell me the women's basketball coach is out here putting on a cape for SA going on campus, saying, quote, if somebody's around you and they ever say, I'll never send my daughter to Baylor, you knock them right in the face.
If somebody is around you and they ever say, I will never send my daughter to Baylor, you knock them right in the face.
Yeah, that's exactly how you want to respond to women feeling unsafe on campus is threaten violence. This is the same woman who dismissed questions from Outsports about the acceptance of gay players on the team while she was at Baylor, saying, quote, "Don't ask me that. I don't ask that. I don't think it's anybody's business. Whoever you are, I don't care to know that." It was a month later that Brittany Griner confirmed the team's don't ask, don't tell policy, a culture of silence that kept her in the closet in the public eye until after graduating Baylor in 2013. Says Kelly Griffin, who played for Mulkey from 2007 to 2010, "Kim Mulkey is an amazing coach. The reason I went to Baylor is because of her, but she made my life hell," drawing attention to Griffin's clothes and issuing a suspension that ultimately ended her career, and she believes it started after Mulkey found out that she was gay. So yes, this is the person who's coaching the team that I'm supposedly rooting for. I would also find it very suspicious that this is the woman that's coaching the supposedly woke team. Don't really sound like a particularly woke coach, now does it? On the other side of things, you have Iowa, who is, as much as they've been adopted by the worst possible fans on the timeline, have done absolutely nothing, at least as far as I could tell, in order to curry favor with this particular group. This isn't a Nikki Haley situation where she's sending out little nods and winks and dog signals.
What do you want me to say about slavery? Next question.
They just go about their business and play their games, and this is who ends up backing them for whatever reason. I can't actually blame them for that. Of course, it affects the context in which they play, but that's not necessarily their fault. Now, how did we get to a point where LSU is everything wrong with the world and Iowa represents everything good? They wear the white hat, so to speak, and believe me, I'll get to that one in a second. Well, this all started because of the double standard last year when everybody lost their minds after Angel Reese bragged and trash talked Caitlin Clark to her face after they won the championship. The timeline was filled with fans just calling her everything but a child of God, but not bothering to research the fact that Caitlin Clark had in fact talked a lot of this very same trash, which makes me think actually South Carolina is the most aggrieved in this situation because we've created this dichotomy between LSU and Iowa, despite the fact that South Carolina has been the best team in women's basketball for a couple years now and are waiting to be crowned. Why do they get ignored all the time? South Carolina just continues to be Michael from Good Times. You gotta ask yourself, what exactly was it that made LSU so evil? What makes the LSU Tigers so evil? I just gave them a rundown of their coach, which is straight out of the MAGA How to Lead Children handbook.
Are you kidding me? It ain't gonna work, buddy.
Is it that they talk trash? We just already went through the fact that Iowa also talks trash. Is it the exposure? Because I don't think anybody gets more exposure than Caitlin Clark and Iowa on this particular year. I mean, I can't wait to see how many documentaries they got coming out at the end of the season, whether they win or lose. So what exactly is it about this LSU team that makes them so evil, huh? You have any ideas? Let's just imagine what the perception would be if the roles were reversed. If LSU and Angel Reese were white and Caitlin Clark were black, and they won the championship, do you know what the perception of Angel Reese would be? This is the star who doesn't care about her statistics. 17 points and 20 rebounds, leading her team. She doesn't care to be in all the commercials. She's not all in the video.
I still want to be an artist and want to stay a star. Don't want to have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record, dancing.
As Suge Knight once said about P. Diddy, that actually aged quite well. But do you understand the lionization that would have awaited Angel Reese for her leading her team, despite just doing all the dirty work, for her team to win a championship, defeating the singular talent of Caitlin Clark? Because we see it all the time. I mean, there is a whole cottage industry in rooting against the most talented. Y'all love to root against the most talented when they black. Let me tell you about the random hate that LeBron has gotten since 2003. People just rooting against him for what? Because he's good. Because he's young, talented, and black. That's exactly why. And that is exactly the treatment that Caitlin Clark would have got if the situation was reversed. Now, when you ask yourself, why does Caitlin Clark get so much attention? I mean, a lot of people have talked about this on the timeline. Well, what is it about Caitlin Clark where she gets so much attention? There's NIL, which allows her to appear in commercials. There are more games that are available now that we have streaming services. There's social media where you can get highlights buzzed to your phone.
It's almost hard to comprehend, honestly. I'm just grateful that, we were a part of it more than anything. But I think it just shows, if you put us on the platform, that we're going to deliver and how exciting our game really can be.
And of course, there's her style of play, which is very telegenic. She's an incredible player, but she also plays on the perimeter, and it's much more visually appealing. There are multiple reasons why she gets so much attention. And also because she's white. I mean, really, like that's also, are we gonna lie about it? Are we gonna lie about it? Are we gonna lie about it? We gonna act like her being white has nothing to do with any of this? Okay, all right. If you want to lie about it, here is where the truth was left out for all the world to see. Apparently, you have some fans that either don't know how Google works or don't care and understand that they could get their particular tribe all up in arms about something that they couldn't bother to look up. So people use the fact that LSU was not on the court during the national anthem to be some kind of indictment of the team, to be some kind of indictment of the players, to be some kind of indictment of the culture of Louisiana State University basketball. Again, this is the team coached by Coach Mulkey, who apparently left the court because they were too woke. It later became apparent that they were never actually on the floor during the national anthem because that's just how their schedule worked.
Honestly, I don't even know when the anthem was played. We kind of have a routine where we are on the floor and then they come off at the 12-minute mark. That's when the anthem. We just, I don't know, and we come in and we do our pregame stuff. I'm sorry, listen, that's nothing intentionally done.
But Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, a noted Trump ally, called for student athletes who don't stand for the anthem to lose their scholarships. This is what he said, quote, "My mother coached women's high school basketball during the height of desegregation. No one has a greater respect for the sport than for Coach Mulkey. However, above respect for the game is a deeper respect for those that serve to protect and unite us under one flag." What does desegregation have to do with this? I'm just saying, what does desegregation have to do with this? Unless you were talking about your mother coaching high school basketball and having to deal with black players and how they handle the anthem. The assumption being the reason LSU wasn't out there for the anthem had something to do with the players and their particular political views. I would ask you how you managed to elect a man who couldn't bother to look up these things before he went and took to social media to post something. I mean, do you just nominate people for governor? That sounds like some DEI mess to me. He doesn't sound qualified. I can tell you that right now. This one I particularly enjoyed. Can somebody point me to the outrage when the 2019 LSU football team wasn't on the field for the national anthem before the national championship game, which Clemson wasn't out there either? I would also like to point you to the outrage, or lack thereof, to the anthem being sung by a group of hostages, which is a choir made up of criminals who assaulted police officers during January 6th.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the horribly and unfairly treated January 6th hostages.
Yeah, because that's not disrespecting the anthem at all. That wouldn't be disrespecting the anthem at all. Now, in order to land the plane on this particular one, I decided to go to FS1's Emmanuel Acho because he is so thoughtful when it comes to all things race. Now, granted, there are a lot of people that are on my radar I haven't necessarily spoken about. It's kind of like when your mama used to look out the living room. Like, she wouldn't say nothing, but she looking, she paying attention. She's paying attention. So Emmanuel Acho, I've been paying attention. I just haven't seen fit to go with a whole video addressing you yet. But in this particular instance, he decided to say, quote,
I'm about to give a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take.
This in response to Angel Reese's post-game comments where she revealed what the last year has been like for her.
I just try to stand strong. Like, I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times. Death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong every single time. And I just try to stand strong for my teammates because I don't want them to see me down and, like, not be there for them. So I just want to always just know, like, I'm still a human. Like, all this has happened since I won the national championship, and I said the other day I haven't had peace since then. And it sucks, but I still wouldn't change. I wouldn't change anything, and I would still sit here and say, like, I'm unapologetically me. I'm going to always leave that mark and be who I am and stand on that. And hopefully the little girls that look up to me, and hopefully I give them some type of inspiration that, hopefully it's not this hard and all the things that come at you, but keep being who you are, keep waking up every day, keep being motivated, staying who you are, staying 10 toes, don't back down, and just be confident.
So you want to give a gender-neutral and racially indifferent take. Exactly what was gender-neutral and racially indifferent about the way that she's been handled? What is gender-neutral and racially indifferent about the way America has made Angel Reese and LSU wear the black hat? What is racially indifferent and gender neutral about any of that? Your attempt to do so is just pure ignorance. Now, I will say this, because one of the other quotes he made is, in sports, you can't act like the big bad wolf and then cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
But I'm about to give a gender-neutral, racially indifferent take. Angel Reese, you can't be the big bad wolf, but then kind of cry like Courage the Cowardly Dog.
If Angel Reese would have acted like a bad sport on the floor, if she would have left the court before the end of the game, if she would have not participated in the hand, she did all of that. She did all of that. On the floor, she gave you 17 and 20. She tried to lead her team. She tried to work herself back after she got injured. And then she handled the loss as graciously as she possibly could. All the other stuff is off the floor. And you tell me what's gender neutral and racially indifferent about any of that. Now, I will tell you that if I had a dog in this fight, it would be South Carolina. I personally think LSU talks a whole hell of a lot. Too much for me, quite frankly, but I'm not going to sit here and act like y'all would react the exact same if it was Iowa. Now, Acho had to respond to the dragging he received. He said, please know I always speak out on racial and gender bias. One of the few on TV to speak on it. I've also consistently publicly supported Angel Reese through it. Not consistently, because it sounds like consistently would be for you to acknowledge its place in this moment. So from Emmanuel Acho FS1 to everybody who tweeted this nonsense about the anthem, to everybody who tweeted about this game, period, and had something to say and making it some sort of proxy war, congratulations, America. You are our racist of the week. You managed to ruin what should have been an incredible sports spectacle. By the way, if you have somebody you would like to nominate, leave it in the comments. You could email me at reese.waters@gmail.com. I have videos on Clarence Thomas coming up. I have a video on the attempts to name Dulles Airport after Donald Trump coming up. I got a whole lot, so I'm looking forward to all. Oh, and don't forget Mark Robinson. Mark Robinson's going to get that work too. Be sure to subscribe to the page and make sure you get notified when the next video drops.